Flames, and welcome back to my channel. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. This video is of a three-part series about who are you. Now, the first video is only applicable to those with souls, but if you have a soul, then you can figure out where the other energies came from too, okay? So, I want to read something to you. The parent is a detached eye whose function is simply to look. It is surrounded by reflective, luminous water, so that it must gaze at its own self, its own image. That it sees becomes objectified as a second principle, the image of the perfect, invisible, virgin spirit. The parent is an abstract intellect whose function is simply to think. It initially has no other object of thought than its own self. The act of thinking or thought becomes objectified as a second principle. The perfect forethought. The parent is a spring of living, running water, whose function is simply to overflow endlessly. The overflow becomes objectified as a second principle, the barbilo, the great overflow. All right, guys, and we shut the book. Okay, with that being read, we know that we are the condensation of water. What is condensation of water? Is it not the barbilo, the thought form? Okay, did not the great one, the God or the condensation, the universe, the great mother dragon, whatever label you choose to give the ultimate, the absolute zero, the highest form of consciousness, okay, in its purest form, which is water. They all see in water. They all see in I. It takes thought, and that thought becomes the virgin spirit, okay? Its higher self. Two-parted, yet singular. It's just dual. It has polar opposites, okay? That which is original, that which is truth, has a polar opposite, okay? Has a high and a lower in the core, okay? So we are the condensation of water. Now, this isn't for the soulless, because I know you came from dirt, and from dirt you shall return. Souls, flames, please. You do know that this is the illusion, and there's no such thing as flesh. That's why it's called physical, also known as fake. It's the illusion part of you. That's your dream. Your consciousness is dreaming, okay? So you know that we came from water. Evidence, not what we just read, but it's good that it can confirm too, okay? We know that we are condensation of water. We know that even in the physical, we dwelled in our mother's womb for roughly 9 months, did we not, in water, okay? We know that we came from water because we've been seeing it within our journey. And if we haven't, then welcome to the awakening. We know that everything comes from water. We know that all of the creation stories states this truth. That's not a fact. Fact is an opinion. That's truth, which is light, okay? So we are the condensation thereof. We know because we enter inside of us. In our cosmic lessons, our astral projections teaches us so. Now, you know the physical body can't travel anywhere, okay? It's just a dead wavelength. It's flat line. It's just a flat line. It's soulless, okay? Now, your true nature is the condensation of water. We are the condensation of water, or a thought form. The water takes form. Remember, water is energy. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but it changed forms. Here are 5 of the formats of water, okay? The physical body, the avatar, which I'm not going to get into today, that's not your true self, okay? It's just the so-called vessel. But anyway, it's the hexahedron, known as the cross, okay? Now, when we transcend, we take on the tetrahedron form, the pyramid, all right? The head of the house, which we know now is water. Okay, we know from not only from reading that, guys, but it's good to read truth in some of this external data. Now, we don't want to become fixated upon going outside of ourselves to know ourselves. That too is foolish. Okay, this too is unconscious. It's death. Okay, it's deadly. It's death. We know that any original entity, once it's awakened or energy, is going to go inside to go home. Okay, come out of the cold. So that does it for this video. I just wanted to make this first video to share that we are the condensation of water, those with souls. I will go over the soulless ones in the second video, but we are the condensation of water, and I want that to marinate on your consciousness. It's time to awaken if you haven't already, and if you've already awakened, it's time to go ahead and complete your courses of self-realization, of self-knowledge. We're running out of time. Evidence is there out here to prove it. These so-called days and nights are just flying by. Everybody is transitioning, whether they're ready or not. Okay? So we are the condensation of water. Water has polar opposites. Water is a great atom, a great molecule, okay? A great organism, okay? There are many, many, many atoms bonded together to produce you. And I know you say, well, we need condensation. I'm sharing the qualities, the components of your true nature. Water is electromagnetic, okay? Study the periodic chart. You are that plus or minus some, okay? We know that we are learning about self-realization. It behooves us to turn within and go inside to get pure data from our Cossack records or our chromosomes, okay? Now, water produces or creates all the geometrical patterns of all living entities. The tree branch, the skin on our so-called bodies, the structures of the plants, so on and so forth. Water doesn't hold memory, if you will. Water is memory. Study that word in the Hebrew text. Get you a strong concordance, okay? And break down the original meaning of these thought forms. There's no such thing as words. That's why words are spells. We are thought forms, and the thought thinks. Not only does the thought think, the thought speaks. Okay, so guys, that does it for this video. I just want this truth to marinate inside of your consciousness and hopefully stimulate your ancient memory, okay? That you are the condensation of water. You are an electromagnetic water atom, molecule, or being, or energy, okay? We're going to get into the laws of thermodynamics. We're going to get into the states of matter and other stuff in the other videos. I just wanted to make this video. I hadn't made videos in so long. It took me forever, okay, just to produce this slide. But again, we are water. Water produces all things, okay? The lights is not like color. The electromagnetic spectrum, also known as the rainbow or the rain band, okay? In the physical realm, does it not produce the bark on the trees, the skin on our bodies, the structure in the plants, the structure in all living beings, okay? I know it sounds like that I'm repeating myself, and I am. Repetition is good. We are the condensation of water. All right, guys. For the next video, we're going to go in depth of the Medusa story. We're going to go in depth of electromagnetism, okay? And a few other things, okay, that shows or reflects who we are, the condensation of water, Okay. All right, guys, get and stay lit. Until the next time, peace out.